Last year, almost exactly a year ago today, on June 11th, 2023, I went on a stroll through the local mall and took note of a phenomenon that I found interesting, which was that for the first time that I could remember, Pride Month, ever since Pride Month became this I don't know, this thing that was everywhere, and you saw corporate virtue signaling with rainbow flags and everywhere, and rainbow flag insignia all over the place, and I mean, but before it became this very conspicuous thing, and I'm thinking that's the last maybe 7 or 8 years. I know that technically speaking, June was declared to be Gay Pride Month, like back in 1990 or something, but it's only been in the last few years that it's become this huge, heavily visible, heavily funded, heavily backed by powerful corporate and financial interests, sort of thing. But last year, I noticed that for the first time, it was getting more muted, significantly more muted. And I'll link to that video. It's not a very thrilling video. I'll own that from the start. And that was why I thought at first, well, maybe I'll stroll around the mall again and do the same thing. And then I thought to myself, nah. I mean, it's sort of like one of those videos is plenty. Because mostly what I did was, go from store to store and find that there was really no insignia, no corporate virtue signaling, really in hardly any of the stores, only in a couple of them, and most of the incidences where you did see recognition of Pride Month, it was normally a fairly subtle thing, just a little hint of rainbow colors here or there. But this year, it seems like it's even more muted. And I was noticing that the other day. Like there was really nothing particularly that gave away that it was Pride Month. The only, in the mall, the only exception to that is in Barnes and Noble. There was, some section which I think I did a short video about. One of them was like Grandpa's Pride, about, I guess, some grandfather coming out or something, and like like a Pride Mad Libs, which seems like it could go awry pretty easily. But it was actually there, Pride Mad Libs book. The whole idea of Mad Libs being, you come up with crazy nouns and adjectives and then have a crazy story. So, like, what if you could choose some, if they ask you for a noun, you could choose some pretty spicy nouns, some pretty spicy verbs too, to kind of, I don't know, make it not be necessarily such a prideful kind of story as it maybe it was intended to be. I don't know, but I'm getting a little bit off the track here. You noticed, or I've definitely noticed, fewer, going to corporate sites. There's not as much rainbow stuff, and I'm not alone. Others have remarked this as well. I'll try to find another video that I found earlier today, in which the host was talking about the same thing. So it is definitely has become a trend, I think, over the last 2 years specifically, where it's not in your face anymore. And they still celebrated in perfunctory ways, but more or less it's something that they've decided to back off from. And I think the reason for that is that people are sick of it. People are tired of it. People roll their eyes over it. That they think, and these aren't people who would be, like traditionalist minded necessarily, but just normal average citizens who are just tired of having this shit, be everywhere for an entire month. And it is pretty absurd. Like, is there a month for any other sexual orientation other than this one? No. And there shouldn't be. Let me make that clear. I don't want to have other months be dedicated to I don't want July to become furry month. I don't want August to be necro month. I just as soon that not happen. So it's what we're seeing is an interesting trend. Now, does this mean that they're not as that they've backed off from the principle behind it? I know that sort of asking that question more or less raises the question of how much they have ever truly been behind these trends, and how much it's simply been something that they've done because it was decided by committee, or it was decided in some sort of some sort of consensus was reached amongst the powerful that this is what we're going to do now, and others all fell into line because it was just decided from people on high. This is the trend. This is what we're going to do right now. Does that really indicate conviction? I don't know that there's so much conviction behind our would-be rulers, behind the powers that shouldn't be. I don't know how many of them really care about helping gay and lesbian and other types of people lead better lives, and how much of them just want to push this trend because it suits their interests to do so in whatever way. I've heard people say, well, it's just a tactical strategy. It's a tactical retreat. It doesn't indicate that they're not just as serious about normalizing every kind of deviancy imaginable. But on the other hand, like, I return to my thesis which I've expressed before, that just about everything that they've ever pushed has been something that enables the depopulation agenda. So the push for homosexuality, the pro-homosexuality sentiments and propaganda. Obviously, if there are more people who are homosexual, there will be fewer people reproducing. It's how it all works. Two men can't have a child. Two women can't have a child. And as far as like a lesbian couple using a surrogate to have children of their own, I've got to say I can't think of instances of people that I that I know or people that I've heard of, like of lesbian couples having, more than one or two children in that manner, in that style. It's just not conducive. And trans, of course, you get your genitalia ripped off, and replaced with some some astroturfed genitalia of the opposite gender. That now you're sterile. Now you're not going to reproduce either. So it's my suspicion that at the very back of every kind of trend, not just the LGBTQ stuff, but everything else, every trend, everything that they foist upon us, everything that they try to get us to do is done with the desired end of depopulation. And I mean, the elites aren't shy about expressing that. It was on the Georgia Guidestones. It was Ted Turner said we need to significantly decrease the population. Who was it? Prince Philip said he wanted to come back as a plague that would kill off billions of people in order to ensure the efforts of depopulation. I mean, depopulation is obviously a big part of their agenda. So whether this is a tactical move or not, I think people. It's more and more being sensed that people are just, they've had enough, and it's not going to be in the interest of anyone to really push this stuff too hard anymore, and that's why they've significantly muted it from last year, and even more so, I think, this year.